So we've made it to week 2 of my new vlog that I'm putting out as kind of a visual aid to go in combination with my writings that I put out before Broncos games on Sunday. Lots to talk about this week with the Broncos' first win over the Chicago Bears heading into this week's matchup with the New York Jets. So without further ado, let's jump in. So on the offensive side of the ball, last week I made the point that I really wanted to see Denver go on these 9, 10, 11 play drives, make them very methodical and really shorten the game to basically accentuate the things that Russ does well, and also protect their defense, which hasn't been consistent or frankly good all year. And that first drive of the game where they jumped out 7-0 was just mwah. It was chef's kiss. I could not have scripted that better myself. There were effective runs from Jaleel McLaughlin. There were effective runs from Javonte Williams. Russ was great with passes over the middle. He was on time. He was getting the ball out quick. Also, one of the few critiques that I had from last week, the plays got in quick, which I still do not understand why this offense is having so many problems getting plays in before that 25-second runoff on the play clock. If you have a wristband and you can just look at the wristband and see what you have, I don't understand why the plays are coming in late. But anyway, the time management is also a critique that I have, and also the overall offensive execution when it came down late. I really would have liked to see Denver be more aggressive after the long pass to Marvin Mims to get into field goal range for the eventual go-ahead score. But if you have the opposing defense on the ropes, just deliver the knockout punch. The game's tied at that point. And I know that if you don't score a field goal beats you. But if you score a touchdown and you know that Justin Fields is a little erratic as the quarterback that's going to be on the opposing end to tie it, go for it. And at 0-3, I don't know why they chose to take the air out of the ball and err on the side of caution there. But other than that, I think it was a very well called game, and Russ is just, you can see his comfort level in the offense just getting better and better every week. So lots of good things, a few little nitpicks and takeaways, but overall, it was a really good performance on Sunday from the offense. So moving on to the defense, I have decided to start a fan club called the I Hate Vance Joseph fan club. If you send me $4.99, I can get some pins and maybe some flags made up to really show how my disdain for anything related to Vance Joseph and his coaching style. Well, I'm kidding. Vance, if you're listening, when you apply pressure, you do better. Okay, buddy? I know you may be scared to do it. I promise it's better. Vance Joseph had, I guess in his defensive philosophy that I've seen on these last 4 games, is very much a read and react defense. And it's just, you're putting your players in weird positions. You're seeing the results when you have that defense, and it does not work. It does not work with this group that you have now. The times that we've seen them be aggressive, they play better. I've been harping on the overall lack of pressure they've been putting on opposing quarterbacks. Well, when you had to be aggressive, Nick Bonitto played well. Again, I have been pleading for Bonitto to get more time over Randy Gregory, which we'll get into in a bit. When that happened, there was more pressure. That helped the secondary. Jonathan Cooper, when he was turned loose, helped the secondary. If you're helping the secondary, you don't have to put guys like Damari Mathis, who has been in under siege all year. You're helping him out. You're helping out your secondary that doesn't have Justin Simmons back there. All of those things work hand in hand to be a better defense. I have no illusions that this will be the 2015 Broncos, but they can be better. There's talent on the defensive side of the ball to be better. And I don't know if you're going to see that if you're going to see a version of them being better, as long as Vance Joseph is the coordinator. Hopefully Vance, if he's watching, again, hi. I know that he's probably forgotten more about defensive football than I will ever know in a lifetime, but your Chargers do better when they're being aggressive, when they can just fly around the ball and try to make plays versus whatever vanilla scheme that you're trotting out on Sundays. So moving on to special teams, not really much happened this week, but there were some good things that came out of it. Marvin Mims in the return game did have a muff on a kick return that really could have been costly if he hadn't recovered it. But otherwise, he wasn't really given a chance to really make an impact there. Punting wise, Riley Dixon again has been okay. He's been, we'll even say solid. He's been okay. He did have one really bad punt, but he was consistent for most of the day, so can't really find too much to critique there. Will Lutz did have the game-winning field goal, which if I'm like anybody else at home, I was a little white-knuckled trotting him out there to win the game after seeing him struggle against Vegas and basically cost us that game. But he did convert and he did do well. So overall, special teams has been the least of the Broncos' worries this year, and they were instrumental in getting us the win. So yeah, kudos. So my ending thoughts, the Broncos did make two transactional moves, releasing cornerback Essang Bassey and starting outside linebacker Randy Gregory. Both players were actually significant contributors on the defense for the first 3 games of the year. So to see them on the unemployment line, it was a bit odd. The Broncos do have some players eligible to come back from short-term injury reserve. The most notable of these being Baron Browning at outside linebacker and our best pass rusher from last year, and Nickelback Kwan Williams, who is actually, when he's healthy, was one of our best corners last year as well. So I also think that the more subtle message with this is that the organization may feel like this is on the players for the defense being so poor and not necessarily on VJ, which is a concern, especially from my end. Going in, we have the New York Jets this week. The Jets, obviously without Aaron Rodgers, I do see this being a defensive battle between between a team in the Jets that has tons of defense and has some questions on offense, and the exact opposite on the Denver side of the ball, with having an improving offense and a defense that does have some holes that need to be filled, to put it mildly. So I'll be putting out a piece later on this week before Sunday, and as always, keep your eye on the ball, and we'll see you next time.